Hello, everyone, and this is my reaction to My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 20. Fifth season's almost done. After this, there'll only be 5 more episodes left. Last time, their third term in their first year finally began, and now there are only 3 months left until their first year comes to an end. That first year did not just fly by, so many things happened. One of them being All Might retiring and Endeavor becoming the new number one hero. So, so Aizawa had to skip class because he and Yamada got some alarming news from Tsukauchi. So they analyzed Kurogiri and they found that he's actually a Nomu of some kind, and that the base power belonged to someone that they knew in their UA days, their friend Shirakumo. They didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to believe that he was still in there. They thought he had died while in their work study program, and now to see him back after all this time, it was tough for both of them. And so we finally learned why Aizawa kept expelling his students. So he did something where he expelled them to teach them how serious things are, and after that he would re-enroll them, and then they would learn from that experience. They did learn from it, but unfortunately expulsion went on their permanent record, and some people were not too happy from it. But he did that because he didn't want to produce heroes who would blindly charge to their deaths without a second thoughts. He wanted heroes to actually value their own lives and the lives of the people they're saving. So yeah, they tried to get him to talk. They tried to remind him of old times, and Kurogi kept fighting against it. He peeled off for a bit, but in the end it failed. So there's still a lot that they don't know about the Nomus. They said that some of them retain some of the personalities from before they were killed. Oh, and apparently the Nomus aren't living humans. So I think it's humans that are already dead. So the first Nomu must have been someone who's already dead as well. And it turns out the high-end Nomu used to be a boxer, and that's why he wanted to fight such powerful opponents like Endeavor, for example. So they still don't know too much about the Nomus, and at the end they showed a doctor experimenting on Shigaraki. I have an idea on what it might be, but I think I'll watch before I say too much. I'm thinking maybe they may do him into like another all for one kind of thing where they're trying to combine multiple quirks into his body. That's just a guess, I'm not sure though. Maybe now we'll find out what they're going to do with Shigaraki. So let's see what happens now on My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia, Season 5, Episode 20, English dubbed.
To do what must be done, we'll have to advance to the next stage. He left formidable power behind for us. You only have to say the word, and I will retrieve that power for you.
What power is he talking about? About 2 months ago, a certain day in October. Okay, in October. Oh, that's him. That's the guy that we saw in Season 4. Gigantomachia, right? So is he gonna get his power? Everybody now we're here. Na, 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 na. Wait, my villain academia? What was that? My villain academia. It's in the beginning, right? So it's gonna be following these guys.
I'm not impressed.
What? You were saying? The size isn't just for show, you know.
Why would you do this all for one? I can't believe it! I don't want to question you, Master, but this is wrong!
I take it you've met Gigantomachia. He's All for One's biggest fan. This giant even used to work as his bodyguard. He's
Oh.
got incredible stamina and resilience. And with that body, he can handle multiple quirks without having to undergo any modification.
What?
All for One knew defeat was inevitable, so he hid Gigantomachia from view. He thought
Okay.
many steps ahead and planned meticulously.
Alright.
So that no matter what might become of him, he would be certain that his hopes and dreams would live on.
Alright. He planned for his own defeat, huh?
Shigaraki doesn't quite measure up to All for One.
So you're saying we gotta make this big baby like us?
Alright then. Uh-oh. Yikes.
Machia.
He's strong.
Machia.
What's that supposed to do?
That's a recording of All for One's voice.
Oh.
Calm the big guy down.
Huh?
He's more trouble than he's worth.
You sure? Let me try something else. 1 second.
Okay,
What
what?
is he up to? Really, Gene? Gross. How immature can you...
What happened? Oh! Oh, that thing. Those things again.
The same quirk All for One used at Camino.
Yeah.
How?
Ooh, they're Nomu. It's all Nomu.
No, no. They don't look like ones I've seen before.
Dabi, I'm impressed you can tell the difference. These little ones are different. Nothing like mid or low level Nomu. These are high-end, my finest works, super Nomu.
So many high-end.
The masterpieces. Much like Gigantomachia, I'm a close aid of Alpha One. I'm Daramo Ujiko. I came up with that name myself. You like it?
Okay, so it's not his actual
To
name.
business. I brought you here today because of an agreement I made out of my deference to our former boss. My life, my tech, my expertise, and of course my little ones here are dedicated to the great All for One. What can you show me to change my mind,
Alright.
Shigaraki? Stop it, Tenko!
Tenko. Is that your father?
I don't remember much about my life before I met you and Master.
What happened to you?
Not a single soul stopped to help you, did they? That must have hurt.
All for One's theme every time they play it.
I know you were afraid and in intense pain. You ran and ran, looking for someone to help. No child should have to endure that.
He knew that he was Nana's grandson all this time, didn't he?
Sooner or later, a hero will help him as they pass by, pretending not to see you. Who turned the world so upside down that a child must suffer as you have, but not anymore.
All for One came to him when he was vulnerable.
I have no memory of my life before my master held me that day. I was just an empty shell, utterly hollow.
Did they erase his memories, maybe? Just a guess.
This is all that remains of your family. A rare variant quirk manifested in you. A mutation no one's seen before. And you murdered your loved one simply by putting your hand
What?
on them.
He did that? The cat?
Do you remember that?
Who's that girl? So can he not control his power? Does it happen every time he puts his full hand on it?
I will help you give purpose to that frustration.
When I put them on, it's so strange. Though it still makes me feel sick to my stomach. Wearing them washes calmness over me.
Whoa.
Don't you think that's bizarre? There's a heaviness in my heart, like a lump of lead, never moving, fueling the rage that propels me, but never brings relief. Even if we bring down Hero Society,
Alright.
even if I rule the ruins from the shadows,
Overhaul.
that lead will be with me all my life. That's why I despise all in existence. Why must I suffer it? When this world falls, we'll see the glorious new horizon that awaits. I'll show you the halls of heaven and the depths of hell.
Oh man.
You sound like a kid playing a bad guy. I'm amazed you got through it with a straight face. Oh, why not? I'll help you achieve your vision, but only if you can back up that speech with action.
Tomura, those ideas of yours seem a little bit deranged if you ask me. Like, do you even want to destroy everything I love?
There's always room for my comrades' wishes. Live how you want
Alright.
to.
Alright!
Okay.
You passed the test with flying colors.
Hold on. You were testing me?
What?
I planned to work with you from the start, but I had to see some growth. I can't bestow these powers to just anyone, you know.
Alright.
That said, I still can't hand them over yet. You're all far too weak. But there is something you can do to prove to me that you're ready.
What?
That big guy may be dense, but he's valuable to us both. Though, unlike me, he hasn't accepted you as his own. Do you catch my drift? You
Alright.
can make Gigantomachia submit to you. Then everything I have will be yours to use as you see fit. If you want what I offer, you'll have to seize it.
Okay.
I have a good potential ally in mind. I'm gonna focus my energies there. Do you object?
Good ally.
No.
Who do you have in mind?
Forward to meeting them.
In that case, Dabi, I'd very much appreciate your help testing out a high-end Nomu. Time to work, Johnny. Back to Gigantomachia, these little soldiers go.
Johnny? Oh, that's his power. Hello, Gigantomachia.
Now, are you ready to submit to your future king?
My villain academia. Oh, I like that. In December, okay. Oh! Wait a minute. That's twice his power.
Open when he's in the air.
December, so this must have been during the Class A versus Class B part.
Dr. Ujiko promised
This
that he'd give us his full support,
Spinner?
but
What happened to
only
him?
one massive condition, that we rein in Gigantomachia. And in the month and a half since then, Shigaraki has come no closer to proving his strength to the giant.
Month and a half.
The big guy wages a full-out assault for 48 hours and 44 minutes straight, only taking breaks to sleep. That brief respite lasts for about 3 hours, then he starts the whole cycle over again.
Oh man.
He's always able to find Shigaraki no matter where he hides.
Gosh. This has been tough for him. He had to grow a lot as well.
So for a month and a half now, Shigaraki's barely slept a wink.
Oh man.
But even as he is pushed to the brink of death, Shigaraki's still smiling. As far as the rest of us go, he doesn't seem to notice when we withdraw from the action. It's like he's blind to everything except his primary target, Shigaraki. We rescued ships to helping our leader conquer the
Spinner looks different
Meanwhile,
without his whole head
Doctor is
covering.
giving us bare bones financial
Or
support.
rather without the mask.
Toga decided to spend what little money she got on a new duffel coat.
Of course. And you?
You only joined the league because you were obsessed with Stain. His influence has all but disappeared at this point, though.
Yeah.
So why are you still here?
And you?
And I love Izuku. And I love Ochaka too.
Oh
It's so
god.
amazing that I can be all these wonderful people.
And do what then?
You're a real free spirit.
And you? Why are you still here? If Stain's influence is gone.
Hey Tomura, you still alive over there?
Yeah, the big dumb bastard's slowing down a lot. I'm way closer now than when this whole saga started. I'll bring that overgrown gorilla to his knees, sooner or later.
That look in his eyes. It's like a kid chasing after a dream.
It's Giran. Wonder where he's been.
I've been calling Giran and gotten nothing but radio silence.
He got me into the league, you know. A real mensch, that one. Why the hell haven't you been answering Mr. Compress's calls? You're the absolute worst, man.
Oops, that would be our fault. Sorry.
Huh? Who's that?
You're Jean Bubakawara, a villain known as Twice, right?
A voice changer.
Oh.
You.
Our top story. Following yesterday's
Another finger found since yesterday, a fifth instance.
Finger.
earlier, a severed finger was found near the
Huh?
home of the Shie Hasaikai boss. And now a pinky finger turns up in central Fukuoka at the site of Endeavor's
All places where we've been active lately. That's no accident.
Who the hell are you, huh?
I'm the Grand Commander of the Meta Liberation
Oh.
Army. The name's Redestro.
Redestro.
I've got your broker right here. And he's still alive, of course. Our objective is to liberate all
What
metahumans.
happened to him?
To demolish the existing
Metahumans?
framework and rebuild a world where people can be themselves. Where they can use their abilities to their fullest capacity.
Interesting. I don't see any reason why we should oppose that.
Is he trying to exploit our name like the Yakuza?
Give us the broker and we'll get back to you soon. We're busy now.
Your broker is an admirable man. Takes great pride in his work. I imagine he's determined to
Yeah.
remain hidden in the shadows, ever careful to avoid the prying eyes of heroes and police.
I'm sure he would.
Sadly, he never thought someone might be lurking in those same shadows, waiting to pounce.
Still, I commend him. He had the foresight to delete his client list before we struck. Not
Oh.
only that, but he didn't so much as wince when we started taking his fingers.
Those are his fingers.
Revolution Club? I don't
More copies
like
were printed
jokes made
over.
in poor taste. I have 116,516 hidden warriors.
Yep.
And we are lying in wait, ever ready to take action.
This guy must be bluffing.
Nope.
How's the weather there keeping those mountains?
We're watching you right now, thanks to our satellite.
Endeavor, Hawks, Eggshot, Mirko, and Crust.
Yeah.
One quick call and I'll drop everything and have you surrounded.
Your organization has become too well known. Therefore, we shall crush you, thus signaling the revival of the Liberation Army. The fingers prove our resolve. Let's not draw this little talk out with pointless bargaining. The war's begun to liberate metahumans from all tyranny.
Why are they calling him the metahumans?
Will you stand against us and be destroyed, or do nothing and be captured by the heroes? You must decide, Shigaraki.
So they're gone either way.
He wants us in Aichi within the hour, and he's tracking our every move from space? If that's all true, it feels like checkmate.
So then what?
Do we even have to discuss this? Jiren saved me, gave me somewhere to belong. So we have to go save him, like right now.
Jiren might already be dead, though. Everything that guy said could be a lie. All that we have is his word.
But even if there's a slim chance Jiren's alive, we have to help him.
You want us to barrel in there without a plan? Calm yourself. You've gotten way too attached to people lately. It's become a bad habit.
It's because I'm an outcast.
I think I've got an idea. How long do we have until the big baby wakes up?
5 months?
Undisturbed, he should wake up in 2 hours and 30
Oh,
minutes.
him. Okay, right. 2 hours.
Let's go.
You're taking the bait. What if they really have 110,000 people? We'll be dead.
The giant's not invincible. After a month and a half of fighting him, it's clear to me. But he does have an excess of HP. And no matter where I am, he'll sniff me out and hunt me down.
Oh, you want them to fight him?
We're going to send Gigantomachia right into the fray and let him face all those fighters. Battling those revolutionaries will wear that meathead down.
Oh, okay, that's quite.
And what do you do if it turns out that Redestro is bluffing?
And he'll die, simple as that.
We're really doing this?
Alright then.
That's what I said.
That's quite a plan you have.
Oh, I'm covered.
And they won't even know what hit him.
Well, it's a plan. Okay, this is getting interesting now. Very interesting. My Villain Academia preview. My Villain Academia. They even changed the logo in the opening for this episode too. So we go back about 2 months, so I think that would have been around. So the high-end fight hadn't happened yet. So it was either just before or just after the overhaul conflict. I'm gonna say that it was just before because they didn't capture Kurogiri until just after that. So I think it was just before the overhaul conflict. So we followed them back in time when they first met Gigantomachia and Shigaraki had to prove himself to him. At first, Shigaraki wasn't impressed, as always, and Gigantomachia didn't like that Shigaraki was someone who All For One chose. He thought All For One made a mistake and was crying about it. So then, the doctor summoned them over there and they met him, and we learned about Shigaraki's history after he met All For One. So, All For One found him when he was vulnerable and offered Tomura a new home. That's what he always does. Like we saw in the beginning of the season when we saw the memories of the first wielder, All For One's brother. So he's doing to Tomura the same thing he's been doing to all the others. And so in season 3, after we found out that Tomura was the grandson of All Might's master, I thought maybe that was the only reason he chose Tomura to be his successor. I thought he only chose Tomura just because of that connection and just because he thought that was the one thing that would truly break All Might. That was just a guess, but now that he's gone and now that All Might's retired, that's not going to apply anymore. But now, Tomura is still filled with all the rage he had when he lost his family. So he doesn't remember his family, but he remembers how he felt when they all died. And All For One told him that he killed his family. His decaying power killed them all. He doesn't remember anything about them, but he remembers how he feels when they died. Well, it's possible that that may not be what actually happened, and All Might's just trying to manipulate it. No, but then no, I don't think so. He's not one to lie like that. He takes advantage of the truths. So I think, so in that case, maybe Tomura actually did do it, and All For One is now taking advantage of it. And that's when Tomura started to become All For One's successor. So because of the anger Tomura felt inside him, the lead that keeps weighing him down, as he put it, he hates everything in existence. And that's why he wants to destroy everything and not rule over it. Because even if he does rule over it, like how Overhaul wanted to, it's still going to be there, and that's why he hates everything in existence and just wants it gone. But he said there's still room for his comrades' wishes because there's still stuff that Toga wanted in this world, and he said that at least those things would still stay standing. So not everything's going to be destroyed by his plans. And according to the doctor, Tomura passed the test. He always wanted to work with him, but he wanted to see Tomura grow. And he has grown a bit from the man-child that he used to be when All Might first met him in the first season. He's now worrying about too much, and after his talk with Deku in the second season, he found a bit of conviction and is slowly growing. So I've also noticed that there's been a big lack of villain activity ever since the overhaul part of season 4. and now I know why. Now I know what they've been doing all this time. They were training as well. So after October, they spent the next month and a half trying to stop Gigantomachia. By then, Kurogiri had already been captured. So since it was before he got captured, it must have been before the overhaul arc. Because shortly after that, that's when they captured him, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, a month and a half passed. So the high end fight finished, and this must have been while Class A and Class B were doing their training. Well, not on the same. Well, it may have happened. Well, it happened across the month, so that may have been happening while this was going on. So yeah, so while they were busy training, Tomura was fighting for his life against Gigantomachia. He always seemed to track them down, and he's barely had any time to sleep. Barely even a wink in the last month and a half, as Spinner said. So his comrades have been taking turns resting and helping him out, but Tomura has been fighting non-stop for the past month and a half. So we finally got to see what Spinner looks like without his face covering, and he looks a bit different actually. So he asked Toga where she's staying after Stain's influence pretty much left, but I want to know what Spinner's answer is. He's the one who was so obsessed with Stain, if I remember correctly. So why is he still staying if Stain's influence is pretty much gone at this point? Toga said there are things that he likes, not just Stain, but Izuku and Ochako also. I don't know how I want to feel if they ever meet again. So she has her own reason for staying, but Spinner never said his part. I was kind of more curious about him because I think he was one who was more obsessed with Stain. And we don't know about Darby, Compress, and Twice either. Darby was a bit unsure at first, but after his meeting with Deku, that's when he was convinced to stay. And Compress, I'm not so sure. So yes, so they saved Tomura for the past month and a half, and now they're helping him take down Gigantomachia. And now they have been contacted by the Liberation Army. They've captured Giran, and they want them. And now they want to get the League of Villains out of the way. So Reed Destro wants to get the League of Villains out of the way no matter what. So either they go to the Liberation Army and get destroyed by them, or they wait until they call the heroes and capture them. Thanks to their satellites, they know exactly where the League of Villains are, and all they have to do is call the heroes, and they'll be there for them. So I think they mentioned getting a tip about Gigantomachia, but if we're now in December, then that must have already happened because I think that happened back in either October or November. But now it's December, so that tip thing must have already happened. I'm not sure how they found them, but that couldn't have been how. So yeah, so now Shigaraki has come up with a pretty crazy plan. They're going to go to the Liberation Army with Gigantomachia still on their tail, and then they're going to have the Liberation Army fight Gigantomachia in their place and try to wear him down as much as he can. And even if they fail, they'll be taken out. So either way, it'll be a win for him. But if his plan works, then eventually he'll be worn enough so that Tomura can take him down and finally prove himself. And then, so I think in part two of this, we're going to see how he takes on Gigantomachia, and then we see how the doctor started experimenting on him. And then maybe this will lead into what happened in Deka City that day. So this will be what. So I think what happens is they're going to beat Gigantomachia, and then he gets his new powers, and then the Deka City will probably be a test of his new powers before the doctor starts putting more into him. That's how I think it's going to play out. So let's see how this continues next time on My Hero, or should I say, My Villain Academia. Thank you for watching my reaction to this episode, and I will see you all next time. Bye.